Hello guys, Garcia here. Welcome back to the Unofficial Patch. Alright guys, so we're back. So we're about to start the King's Way here and our long journey through the warrens there, which is not something that I enjoy doing a whole lot. But I am excited to see what's going to happen, like the interactions between my Nosferatu guy here and the rest of my people down there. My guess is not going to be like that different, but at least they would be more like receptive, I think. I want to get the Haven, but since I don't play with the Nosferatu that much, I don't know exactly how to get it. My guess is I will have to do the whole Barabbas thing first, right? Why would Gary give me the Haven? Like right when I arrive there, I invade his space, you know what I mean? And I don't think he's going to care that I defeated the Shimisi either. So let's check here. So nothing new here. Oh yeah, the artifact, forgot. Here. This one is the mummy wrap, right? Yeah. Okay, let's go down. So I'm pretty sure that we are playing the other playthrough. We are playing Clan Quest, right? Clan Quest. I mean, this guy screams so loud. In Clan Quest, I'm pretty sure there's no posters quest, but I'm not sure about the unofficial patch. That's why I'm trying to get all the items that I remember like along the way here, just in case there is a posters quest in the unofficial patch, which I don't know. But I don't see any reason why the quest would not be here, you know what I mean? Alright, let's go. And we need to make Gary as happy as possible if we want to have a shot at the Haven, right? Alright, so same thing as we talked before here. Obfuscate down here is not going to work ever. So we're going to go full on potence here. Now I don't have a whole lot of potence, as you can see. That should be enough.
Hello, young K-Knight.
No, your appearance does not frighten me.
Face is not so lifeless.
I have a mirror.
Your nerves not so deadened that you cannot express shock. Tell me, child, is my appearance that frightening? Or is it my knowledge of you that is so unnerving?
Frightening? Take a look at this grill, buddy.
Don't be ashamed of your appearance, young one. The beast in us takes many forms, but all are beautiful in their own way. And this need only be the beginning.
I see.
Oh yes.
The tape.
To gouge.
So I'm glad they actually talked about the appearance thing, because that would be like a ridiculous statement to make.
It is not for me.
Without addressing the fact that I'm ugly as hell too.
He slumbers within the uncurrent. Blessed creature. Illegals.
Mongrels.
Perhaps. Revulsion is instinctual. Then perhaps it's your longing. Do not fear. Now, Camarilla.
Camarilla, well. So, let's see. Oh, hey. This is the long one. Oh, no. The damage is low, but the cadence is pretty decent. I'm going to just park here. Where is he? Come on, this side, buddy. Jeez. The guy's just not coming at all. I'm tired of killing this little guy already. He's still there. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. It's taking so long for him to come here. This is starting to become a problem. Luckily, I'm farming these guys here, so I guess I'm getting blood points for the chalice, you know? It should be okay, but it's not doing well. No, almost pressed off his mistake. Okay, so let's see if I have some blood points here. 9. There you go, that's good. Alright, problem solved. Come on, this side. Jesus. This guy... He's teleporting like centimeters. He's not even moving. He's going up and down. Ah, damn it. Oh, now you show up. Come on. Ah, Jesus. Oh, now he's there. Okay. Ah, tired. Okay, finally. Here. Okay. I'm gonna die here. Just because the guy doesn't show up. Here. Come on. Okay. Yeah, the teleporting thing's so annoying. Because every time this happens. We had this problem, I think, in Extreme too, right? That the fight lasted, like, at least 10 to 15 minutes. Like, the one fight. And we had to fight him twice because I died at the end there. In Extreme. Alright, luckily we are Nosferatu here, so we should have enough blood here. But we need blood, like, right now. Alright, there's no reds in this part here. Alright, in this version I'm not going to need the ledgers and the documents for the Posters quest, I don't think. So I'm not going to worry about it. Wrong. Good. Come on. So the reds are usually around here. I can see them. There you go. Alright, no one's close here. Alright, I knew that the only place in the game this would like really help would be here. I was not expecting the fight to be that annoying, but hey. The idea of the fight is simple, right? The idea is you run after the guy wherever he shows up and then you hit him. But I wish there was like, it was acceptable to just sit in a corner and wait, you know what I mean? But yeah, being lazy is a sin. In the final nights, you know what I mean? not the mod. Alright, so now let's go for the long walk here. So I think this is going to be the most standard version that we have played of this, probably ever on the channel here. Which is to say that I don't know if there's something different or not. I guess I can get the pearl to buy early here, because in this version, as far as I remember, there's no like delay. So I don't think you need to finish the whole quest to get the pearl from Abrams, that is. Here. I'll get everything, but I don't need that. I'll get this too. Shortcut. I don't remember if there's a shortcut in the unofficial patch, to be honest. Let's see. Oh, it's 7. Oh, that's so annoying. Can I reach 7 here? I mean, not really. Yeah, not really. If I put 9 here, I'm going to lose one of the extra quests that I have. I'm not going to do that. So I guess there is the shortcut available here, but I needed 7. Alright. Well, I was like mentally ready to do the warrants anyway, so might as well just do it. I'm not going to like waste 9 XP points or like just to not do the warrants, you know what I mean? I'm already here anyway. Oh, fast! Forgot. Alright, hopefully he's going to actually give me the pearl here. I'm just going by what I know from the other mods. I'm not sure.
Evening.
Okay. Oh, I see. So I need to do the
Evening.
Yeah, I see.
Certainly.
Okay, I had to press that, otherwise I would like out Strauss there. So that was a change by the unofficial patch, I guess. So I need to come back later. Yeah. Okay. Oh! Well, that was your fault, lady. Nah, I'll sleep with that. I was thinking, my guy looks a lot like Freddy Krueger. Well, he has Freddy in his name, but it really does look like him, you know? In that franchise, after a while, after like all the problems that they had with Krueger like in the 80s and stuff, the characters in the movies, they like developed a drug that would actually, I don't remember the drug prevented you from sleeping straight up, which is kind of like would kill you, I guess, if that happened. Or if the drug prevented you from dreaming, which makes more sense. Because if you don't know, that's the point of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, is that the guy really actually attacks you in your dreams, or in that case, in your nightmares. So if you don't sleep, or if you sleep and you have a way to prevent yourself from dreaming, then he's basically ineffective, you know what I mean? So I think maybe like in the future, like the humans could like, not the humans, the vampires themselves could develop a way or like a ritual or something to make themselves like either like completely invisible to the human society, or like to make the whole like digital world more bearable to them. Like if like no camera of any device could probably like show them. Like the whole like not being able to be seen in mirrors and stuff. I remember that oh wait. Oh man, that was a mistake. No, that wasn't. Okay. I was like, what about the CDC quest? But then I remember the CDC quest is on the Clan Quest playthrough, The CDC quest is not a vanilla quest at all. Alright, so we didn't commit a mistake there. So I was thinking about that because I have a very old magazine from the 90s here that describes one of the possible ways in which Gehenna would develop. So like, for example, like 2001, so-and-so would like arise. 2007, Malkav would show up, and so on. So it would give you like a time attack, a timeline of like each antediluvian that would show up, you know what I mean? And what they would do when they got up. So basically they were trying to like develop a timeline for all the happenings that would lead to the end of the vampires or the world, I guess. And in that timeline, there were a lot of attempts to prevent humans from like breaking the masquerade, given like technical developments. And like vampires not being able to actually deal with those developments. Then there's like a date after the 2000s that is simply called like I'm trying to translate from Portuguese to English. So basically the date that the masquerade broke completely and humanity finally learned of the existence of vampires. So laws had to be created to protect and separate the groups, you know. Not only vampires, but the other supernatural creatures too. So werewolves, mages, and so on. That timeline is so awesome. I don't remember which one of my magazines I have it in, but I do have it, the magazine seal here. I never lost a magazine, like an RPG magazine. I have more than like 150 like RPG magazines, no joke. And that timeline is in one of them. That's not the official like White Wolf timeline. That's not what happened at the end of the 3rd edition, you know? But like how Gehenna was described by them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrong. But it is a very like interesting attempt to like describe how like a version of the events would go. So by the end there, I don't know how to pronounce that in English, so I'm going to pronounce in Portuguese. The Garou, which is one of the names that the werewolves have, right? The ones that are left because they start to get hunted and they get massacred, so they basically go extinct, really. Because like humanity deems them like more dangerous than the vampires, I guess. Or the vampires are able to control the human society better. So the rest of the Garou that are left, after like 2,100 and something or 2,200 or so, like hundreds of years in the future. And they just enter that place that they go. I forgot. This already is not going to work. I got stuck here, so let's go again. I forgot the dimension that the wolves can go. I forgot the name. So theoretically, like the worm there, finally won. So they go to their dimension and never come back anymore, basically. And the antediluvians start waking up one after the other. And they have to essentially cannibalize each other. So I remember that the Shimisi one tries to... Oh, I forgot to turn the thing off. That was a mistake. The Shimisi one tries to use his discipline to basically cannibalize the entire world, like literally. Oh, now it's off. Okay, so I need to press on. Alright, so let me try this in first person. Maybe this is better. Go. Go. So yeah, it's very interesting. One day, I'll start making more like videos related to like tabletop RPGs and stuff on the channel. And that's one of the videos I always wanted to make, is about that particular timeline. And like, and what would happen, like stage by stage. So in this date, the Masquerade breaks. In that date, this and this happens. In that date, this antediluvian awakens, and so on, you know. It's a cool exercise for you guys to see what the Brazilian RPG players were coming up with. At least the ones that published in magazines, you know. In terms of like storylines and stuff. I have a supplement here called Hunting Season, which was published by the main RPG magazine in Brazil here, Dragão Brasil, so the Brazilian Dragon magazine. That is about the final nights and the final days of the vampires in Brazil. And like what different movements the different supernatural creatures were doing, mainly the wolves and the vampires, right? And how they were protecting themselves, and what sorts of like countermeasures they were applying, and so on. It's very, very interesting, but obviously I will have to translate everything, right? In Portuguese. But I will be doing videos like that one day. Let's go away, bro. My God. These guys are so annoying. The main point of the hunting season is that it was created, I think, in the States, something called the Hunt Club. And the Hunt Club specializes basically in hunting vampires and creatures like that. And the speculation is that the leader of the Hunt Club is actually the Reaper. And when I say the Reaper, I don't mean like a guy that has a code name Reaper. I mean the actual Reaper, Death. And so Death would be, in this situation, a separate entity from the other 5 main groups of like supernatural entities. So vampires, wolves, ghosts, mummies, changelings, the mages, if you want to consider them like supernatural, or not like beings with like human beings with powers and so on. And the main point of the Reaper is to like go after the people that basically break the laws of nature and stay alive when they should be dead. The Reaper is precisely like the physical manifestation of the entity in the Final Destination movies, which some people speculate is basically death, or others speculate is like a power of nature, others speculate like an order given by a supreme being of the universe, or maybe it's just the natural order of the universe that it needs to fix the fact that those people survived some sort of accidents, right? And they need to die for like the natural order of things to keep taking place, you know what I mean? So I don't believe that there's a single person watching this that doesn't know what Final Destination is, but just in case, I'm going to explain real quick here. So Final Destination is a horror franchise of movies. There's like comics and other stuff too, but mainly movies. That has like 5 movies, I think. And number 6 is coming this year. The trailer is fucking awesome. One of the best horror trailers I think I've ever seen in my life. And the idea of the franchise is someone has a vision during like just a regular daily activity, and that vision gives them like insight about an accident that's going to take place shortly, like in a few minutes. And they end up saving several people that should die in that accident, but they don't because of the vision. And later, some sort of like unseen entity starts killing one by one the people that survived that accident, because you see they shouldn't have survived, you know what I mean? So that's the basic gist. The first movie is very popular, that one with like Devon Sawa from the 90s, I think. It's a great franchise. There's only one bad movie in it. All the other ones are good, in my opinion. I mean, as far as horror movie goes. So the idea there is that there's some sort of force that like corrects that unbalanced, or like people surviving when they shouldn't. You know? So the basic gist of the Reaper in the hunting season is the same. That's why he has established the Jesus Christ. These fuckers. That's why he establishes the hunting club, or the hunt club, is to basically go after those creatures that are breaking the natural order. You know what I mean? Don't get stuck, don't get stuck! Oh, oh, there you go. Alright. Wish I could feed here, but no. Let's keep going now. Go to your buddies. Man, that was so close. My god. Now, the main reason why I don't like the Warriors as a YouTuber, that, if you can call me that, is that you cannot talk about anything else while you're doing this because of how noisy these dudes are. It's just so annoying. The Shimisi creatures. Leave me alone. I'm oppressed. Oh, you know what's great? When you fall here into the hole of the actual Nosferatu warrens, then everything just vanishes. Just you and some chill music, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna frenzy here, so I'm not gonna worry about my blood right now. Alright, let me get the CD. Yeah, so that's the gist of the Reaper in that situation. So that's hunting season, I would say. Supplement that I have. Oh, I'm going backwards. Not only talks about that, but it also talks about that supplements from like the beginning of the 2000s, I think 2001, 2002 or something, maybe 1999. Back then, Vampire was the most popular RPG in Brazil by a landslide. You would go to conventions and stuff. If you had like 200 tables with people playing RPGs, you had to like register what RPG are you playing and so on. Of those 200, 120 would be Vampire. No joke. So it was way bigger than Dungeons and Dragons until the 3rd edition showed up. Then everything changed. That revived Dungeons and Dragons in a big way. If you don't know a lot about RPGs, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is the 2nd edition, was clunky in several aspects. And the D20 system, the system of the 3rd edition, is very solid and is like very like malleable, very versatile. It fixed a lot of stuff, so brought a lot of people in. So before I talk to him here, so I'll talk about more about hunting season as we go here, but for now let's just talk to our buddies here. Okay. So Malia. So let's talk to Mitnick first. I don't think this is going to be that different, but let's go.
What?
Chill, bro.
Well, oh yeah, sorry. The name's Mitnick. I'm in.
Alright, this is normal.
I've been following your progress. Yeah, he knows why you're.
Gary.
Here's one. Go ahead.
About displays.
What? The horns? Not much to tell.
Okay.
There's more of us than you.
Can I join this brood? Oh, that's interesting.
You here? A Christ spy. Come on, newbie. Do we really look that stupid?
There you go. Let's see. Yeah, number 4 is the one that makes more sense here. So I've got no loyalty to LaCroix. Right now, I just don't have much of a choice.
Well, all right, I can see that. I'll give you some advice. You want to get in good with Gary, then listen to what he says and don't shoot your mouth off. He's a mean bastard, but he'll treat you right if you're straight with him.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Go ahead.
That does help.
Me? Well,
Oh, that's different.
you are one of us, I guess. All right, I'll let you in on a Nosferatu secret. We've got a worldwide information network called ShrekNet. Top secret. Strictly for clan use only. None of the other clans even know it exists.
So what is it for?
Oh, lots of stuff. Reconnaissance, code breaking, espionage. If you've got the clearance, you have access to the entire Nosferatu database. You want the name of LaCroix's tailor? Got it. Jeanette Vorman's bra size. We got that too.
Oh man, what a creep.
I'm trying to add a few more network hubs in the city so we're covered in case of emergency. But Gary doesn't want anyone leaving until this whole thing with LaCroix blows over. Which basically leaves my freaking cheese hanging in the wind.
I see. Maybe I can help you out.
Yeah, you do that. Man, that was really...
Okay.
I need... Me? Well, it was,
This one is the same.
Are you kidding?
There you go. Alright, so that was pretty different. It did treat me like a Nosferatu brethren here. But, obviously, also, as the errand boy. Oh, I meant Imalia.
Can't believe she got... I mean, just look at her. I mean, like anyone ever knew who Tawny Sessions is. Oh, right. You probably don't. Before this neat little makeover, I don't want to kill her.
See?
Gary says that I have some wire. Once the cameras... Look, you will? Great.
Okay. So, for her, no difference? Alright, so let's see what's up with Gary here. So this group of dialogues here could be a minefield, depending on... Oh, almost died there. Depending on how this goes here. Because if I was just like a straight Nosferatu is one thing, but me working for LaCroix, that's rough. Let's see. So everything that's not new, I'll try to skip here. Hopefully I'm not going to skip anything different. Let's go.
By the clack-smack cracking of... Maybe. We are I'm over here, but... You should know this, Nosferatu. What do our kind want? We want to know. What's the first question you would ask if you were me?
Why are you here?
You're a bright one, aren't you? Exactly. Because I already know who you are, but I don't know why you're here. And when I don't know something, I need to find the answer.
So I'm looking for the sarcophagus?
You don't say. Wake up, boss. You should have got here. I like to Are you sure? Careful what you... Behind you, boss. Oh! What? You don't recognize...
Alright, so far?
Where?
Oh, I cleaned your sewers for the Shimisi and brought you some masquerade endangering items too.
Oh, my hero.
There you go.
Had it not been for that damn Shimisi, you'd still be searching under rocks for us. It was hardly a favor, but I know where your
Alright, no I haven't.
The Kuei-Jin-Av.
Tell me more.
Even for old Gay. You up for a little...
I'm not going to bargain with him. Don't think it's a good idea.
The Golden Temple in Chinatown. Sounds dangerous? No, this ain't a suicide mission, boss. You'll be more of a curiosity than a threat. Talk to Zhao, ask her where my boy is and get him back. Once he's safe, I'll tell you everything you need to know about the sarcophagus.
What a nice guy.
Not that I know of. It's like... Let's see what I got. For a fellow sewer rat, I'm willing to let it go cheap.
So free Elder Vitae. There you go.
Use your head and your eyes. Chinatown's more liable to offer you than 10 Hollywoods. but not if you're smart.
Well, that's not my specialty, I don't think.
Forget it, boss. It's Chinatown.
Okay.
Of course. What kind of a monster do you take me for?
Alright. Yeah, so he did give me some extra stuff here. Dialogues, I mean. 3 Elder Vitae, that's a lot. Alright, so I probably should sell a bunch of this stuff here. Alright. So we have a bunch of side quests to do here, so let's just focus on those for the rest of the episode here. Alright, so let's keep talking about hunting season. There's a lot of interesting stuff for like storyteller fans there, I guess. So if you're not a tabletop RPG fans, maybe not so much, but hey. So as I said, the hunting club. The interesting thing about the hunting club there, as far as I remember, because there's a few years has been since I last read it. But the idea is that the hunting club, he's like the head of the hunting club is not the actual Reaper. The Reaper is behind, so he's like he's not the front, you know what I mean? We call these types of people here in Brazil oranges. So the guy's the leader of the hunting club is called like an orange, which is essentially is the guy that is the front of the business, you know? So he's not the actual leader. And the leader that is not like the Reaper is a guy, I think he's called something O'Brien. I don't remember his first name. But the interesting thing about him is that he's an immortal. And when I say he's an immortal, I don't mean he's a vampire. He's a Highlander type immortal. So it's just a guy that doesn't die and live for like thousands, maybe like, no, thousands might be too much, but hundreds of years, you know? So I'm calling him an immortal because I have no idea if that's how they call it in the Highlander franchise, because it's been like many years since I saw that. Especially the first one with like Christopher Lambert and so on. But yeah, so he's like a type of being that you don't see much in these types of stories related to the storyteller system. Which is like just a guy that doesn't die, you know what I mean? Which is a very interesting concept. And let me just switch the armor before I forget. No, not this one, the other one. But if you can call this armor. It's like a carnival outfit. So yeah, that's a very interesting proposition. So there's a bunch of supernatural beings in the hunt club too. But they do hunt vampires and werewolves and stuff. So that's one part of the supplement. So there's several different parts related to things here in Brazil. So there's one part that talks about USP. We call it USP, which is the Universidade de São Paulo. So the São Paulo University. And how it is like basically a center for wolves, really. So it's kind of dominated by werewolves. And there's like a huge park there. And that huge park, as you might imagine, is the place where many of the wolves like make their conferences and stuff. Not conferences, you know what I mean, the meetings that they do. And it's very interesting because some of the teachers and some of the staff of the university are also wolves. And not from like only one of the lineages, you know. There's also, obviously there's power struggles like inside of the place, but the fact that the wolves were able to maintain that place in a city that is basically a hotspot for vampires in Brazil, because it's the main city of Brazil, it's one of the main cities in the world, really. São Paulo is. I know that every time people think about, am I done or not? Yes. So every time we talk about Brazil, people think about Rio de Janeiro, right? Every time, that's the city they think about, Rio. But Rio is just a city, you know, absolutely ravaged by crime, absolutely, like a complete disaster. Like for you Americans would be like Detroit, or like Chicago or something like that, or even LA at this point, you know what I mean? there's a city that is more famous for what's wrong with it than what it is positive about it. But the actual capital of Brazil is a city called Brasília. And the main city of Brazil, the most important one, is São Paulo. So as you can see, there's some confusion there. So yeah, so that part of the supplement talks about that university and the control that the wolves have over it. And like it gives you a map and where certain, I'm calling them lineages, but I forgot what they are called in werewolf terms. In vampire, we call them clans, right? The different vampires. In Werewolf the Apocalypse, I don't remember how you call them. Lineages? I'm sure it's not racist, so I don't know. But yeah, so that covers that. There's another section about a club, also I think in São Paulo, if I'm not mistaken. And this club is led by a vampire lady. I think her name is Veronica, if I'm not mistaken. And she actually has a werewolf lady. Wrong side. She has a werewolf lady in her basement that she like tortures her like a few times per week. And she's basically has like this weird like almost sexual relationship with her, but like in a domination type. Because the girl has like that the werewolf girl there that is imprisoned there has that like, how should I say this? It's not an instinct, but it's like some sort of like she wants to be punished. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So she has that personality that like. There's some people that are just like that. They are wired like that. They want to be abused. They want to be punished for something that they did. So she basically just stays there. And then you see the vampire lady walking around with her in the nightclub there at night with her in a collar, and she's like using like chains to move her around like a dog. You know what I mean? Here.
Here.
Thank you. What about the magazine? Yeah? Did I get the quest or not? Let me see. The Way of the Kings. No, I didn't. There you go. I picked the wrong option there. Yeah, so obviously there's the whole story of the club, and the club started as a place that people would like gather for political reasons to try to fight the dictatorship here in Brazil that we had for many years, for like 20-something years. We had a dictatorship before that, then we became kind of a democracy again, and then we went down the barrel again and so on. It's kind of a complicated story. But yeah, they tell the story of the club until it became that place. And the name of the place, I shit you not, if I'm not mistaken, the name of the place is Club Masquerade. So it couldn't be more obvious than that. So the place, at the time that the supplement was released, it's kind of a place that the main vampires of São Paulo would go to have like their discussions and conclaves and things of that nature. So it's a very important place. I don't know if it's actually like Elysium or not, but it must be, because if the lady's walking around with another werewolf there, then there you go. The werewolf lady has like a sad story and so on, so that's why she feels like she needs to be punished. It's not like just a kink, you know. Actually, bad stuff happened to her, and she had to do stuff, and probably she regrets it and so on. So I cannot like explain because I don't remember, but the concept is awesome, and the place being called like Club Masquerade and her name like being Veronica and so on. You look at her, she's like so like vampiric, you know, the way she dresses and stuff. It's a very interesting like location that if you are like a narrator and you want to tell a story with this in your RPG group, man, you can tell so many good stories with that place. But that was back in the 3rd edition, right? So it's kind of, in terms of like Vampire the Masquerade lore, is theoretically in the past if you don't like playing the older editions.
What can I do for you?
I want the magazine, bro.
Yeah? Sure, pal. I'm sure you I don't...
Alright.
Huh?
Alright, at least she gave me some money, right? So she gave me 400. So I just wasted $100 there for the... Sorry if I'm being too like crass, but the cum covered magazine here. Just a fact. Alright, so another part of the supplement talks about hijack. So that's the most important. That's the most interesting one for me as an RPG fan. Oh, an RPG fan, and a horror fan. Which is basically hijack is a spirit that inhabits a house. So the house in its entirety is like his body. And since it's actually a supernatural being, hijack can move. So for example, if say hijack is in England and hijack takes the form of like a 3-story building, hijack can like just move to like Mexico and be like an ice cream shop if hijack like wants to. But the original hijack was actually a Victorian mansion that looks very scary. By the way, they drew it in the supplement. So hijack has a very interesting story because it explains like how it came to, not how it came to be, but how the first owner like started to realize like bad stuff happening, and then a bunch of like deaths that were like hard to explain started happening, like people dying in accidents with like the fireplace, people falling off the stairs and breaking their necks, people like getting hanged up by like clothing and stuff and dying for no reason and so on. So like generations of that stuff. So the new owner gets the house in a different place because hijack changed locations, I mean, and also changed the layout and so on. So that would happen. So that would be like a great horror franchise, like Final Destination, but in a house, and the house is alive. You know what I mean? It's really cool concept.
Hey,
Here,
you did? Oh my god!
you're welcome.
Well,
See? So maybe I could push her for like extra dialogue lines, but I don't think she's going to have anything. She like the no fucks given type lady here, so I don't think she's going to actually give me like a tip or something like that. That's my record. I said the F word like 3 times in the same video. That's a record. You guys don't know I don't use that a whole lot. But sometimes, hey, my lexicon is not that vast, so I need to go with what I know. And cursing is a skill that everybody develops in life. So, hijack. So after a while, an actual vampire starts to own the house. I don't remember. So remember that because the hijack is an entity, not a place, that means that for hijack to allow you to stay, she has to see some value in you. And also, it's not an entity that is like, oh, it's like an animal that you enter and the house starts eating you for some reason. Hijack is a sentient and very intelligent entity. So they allow people to live inside of her if she can get something out of these people. So she's basically a vampire, but in a very like spacious like distribution of mass, you know what I mean? And or configuration, I guess. So eventually a vampire starts like living there, and the vampire, as far as I remember, is a Tremere. So the Tremere immediately notices that there's something wrong in the house, and then he notices that the house is actually an entity. So he actually becomes like a servant of the house, almost a slave, you could say, I guess. So using that Tremere, the hijack, the entity, starts learning about vampires and the actual society of the Darkest Night, as good old Dr. Grout would say. And because of that, hijack starts like to get more interested in vampires and werewolves and all that stuff instead of humans. So hijack at that point in time obviously would be in São Paulo, right? And the guy that is a vampire there, and this is where my Portuguese is going to come up because I don't know the name of this in English. But the vampire that is a Tremere that lives there and is kind of the slave of the entity is actually a Justicar, which is basically a judge in vampire society. So he goes to places to judge the crimes of fellow vampires and stuff. So they have a certain level of authority, you know, that is higher than the princess of each location. So they are very like feared and respected. But in this case, this guy is actually subservient to this entity, you know. And I don't remember if Hijack can just like go and like take over a building, for example. Let's say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a famous building. Let's say the Taj Mahal. I don't know if the entity can go to like the Taj Mahal and actually take over the Taj for a time. I don't know if that's how it works, or if it has to pretend to be a new building. But what I do know is that Hijack is always watching, and Hijack always knows what's going on with the Tremere guy, which I forgot his name, sorry. His name is like Dr. something something. But he is a Tremere guy for sure. And some NPCs that were in that supplement that basically talks about São Paulo mostly, right? But it has the Hunt Club that is like a worldwide thing. And it talks about like some NPCs that Hijack likes and some NPCs that Hijack doesn't like. So for example, Hijack likes Nosferatu because Nosferatu always bring information with them. And Nosferatu don't bother her. I'm going to call it her, but you know what I mean. All that much. So there's an NPC in the supplement too. I think it's called Gallius. Or Galeos for us here. And that guy, Hijack allows him to walk around like unscathed. It doesn't bother her at all. So probably because she can learn a lot from him. You know what I mean? So it's such an interesting concept. Like such a vile idea that like the house itself is alive, but it's not alive like in the horror movie sense. Like it's not going to hit you or break your leg like right away. It will suck the information out of you first. Let me do the quest for Bertram first, then I'm going to start the quest for Mitnick here. So it's kind of a devilish like concept, because what is the place in the world that you feel like ideally that you feel like mostly safe is at home, right? But imagine if that home is an entity and you know that the home is watching and you know that the home gave you tasks and wants something from you, and you know that eventually that the home is going to get tired of you and will want to replace you with something someone else that is more useful. And even if you're like a supernatural entity, that home has like a level of power and discernment that you simply don't have and will never have. So there's absolutely nothing you can do to escape its grasp unless you never enter a building ever again in your life. It's kind of a absolutely brutal idea.
I'm glad you're here.
Hey,
I'm looking for...
I have it. My man. Thank you. Got a point? I got a point. Alright, so I don't think I need to raise my research for this one. Alright, our research here is... Jesus, where is it? I forgot. 8. There you go. So the next scholarship point is going to give me 9, which is the amount we need, so I don't think we need to worry about this. So let's read the PC book before I forget. Got him. Okay, now we have hacking 8. There you go. Yeah, so the story of Hijack is super long, and like there's like several families that live there, and horrible stuff happens to all of them and so on. So she was involved in the political scene of the vampire world in the 90s and the 2000s there, in that supplement, in São Paulo. Which is not that important in the context of like the Vampire the Masquerade 3rd edition. São Paulo is not like that as it is in the regular world, you know what I mean? But the fact that the entity exists, such a... And also because Hijack is an entity, that means that inside of the house, things will only happen if the house allows it. So if anybody uses the discipline, for example, it's like a walking, talking Elysium. That's basically the best way to describe it. So they can like make all sorts of like meetings there, or have all sorts of meeting there. But with the caveat that this entity will always know. Oh yeah, the library quest. You know what I mean? So it's such an interesting concept to use alongside vampires and werewolves and stuff. Alright, so before I do anything, let me just sell the items here because I don't want to walk around with all of this. I'm going to drop some blood here. Oh yeah, I'm dropping here actually the items. That's why. Oh, or not. I think I got them to sell and I didn't. Okay, so I'm dropping it here. So yeah, that supplement's so good because it has so many different like concepts in one place. Most of them for the city of São Paulo, for Brazil, right? But in terms of like how you could use that, you could use that basically in any RPG ever, you know, especially the horror ones. Such an amazing concept. And obviously, like houses being alive is nothing new in horror, especially like in science fiction. But the way they weaved it into the nightlife of the creatures there is very interesting. So imagine you want to like have a very important like gathering, and you need to be 100% safe. So you need to negotiate with like this elder entity that is actually kind of a house. You know what I mean? Just an interesting step in your daily life.
Took a trip to see a...
Or nightly life, you know what I mean?
Picked up a spaz...
Okay. I'm gonna do this. Now you guys know the reason why I talk so much about random stuff when I'm playing the episode that is about the Warrens is because it's about the episode about the Warrens. You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot to say about the Warrens that hasn't been said, especially in my channel already. I've done this like 10 times at this point. I'm not going to buy anything right now. I don't think it's necessary. Oh yeah, let me sell the... Oh, I don't have the special here. Okay. I'm going to sell these two. I'm going to keep the other two. Okay. So that's why I'm talking your guys' ear off here, is because usually the episode with the Warrens is also the episode that I do the Mythic stuff, which is not going to be the case today. So I usually just pack that episode with like random knowledge that's completely useless, you know. There's more stuff in that supplement that I'm not remembering right now, but there's like 8 chapters. Each chapter is like a completely different, not completely different, like a different concept, you know. So the library quest starts on the smoke shop, right? So I need to go to the smoke shop here. Let me do the megahertz thing first, because that one is quick. So I apologize if that was annoying, but such an interesting thing. I will definitely do a video about that one day on the channel. But I need to think like how it's going to look and how it's going to be. But one thing I do know a lot of is a bunch of random stuff that doesn't connect with anything. But they are interesting. If you are interested in that type of stuff, obviously. Alright. Here. This one is 9, if I'm mistaken. 8. Okay. Alright, 8 I can do it. F3. I have 7 without. Yeah. So I can just use blood buff here. Where is the buff? Okay. So that is my favorite supplement of all time, which is funny because I haven't played like that many Vampire the Masquerade, like the tabletop RPG in my life. Played mostly Dungeons and Dragons. Alright. Net security. I don't know how I hit that with my keyboard with the raised keys here. But hey. Alright. My memory for the keys is actually working here. What a miracle. And also, my light bulb failed today. It's burned. So now I need to buy another one too. So I not only don't have the keys, I don't have lights either. So I'm just punching shadows here, hoping that I'm going to hit something here. I'm glad that I didn't have to type a whole lot for the Meet Me quest today. For the next episode, hopefully I will already have a replacement here. I don't know how you say when the light starts not working, the actual lamp, you know what I mean?
Can't help you with...
Yeah.
That's a negative.
That's definitely a negative. I think if I pay the prostitute like $50,000, she wouldn't touch me. Still. Because my god. Okay, so I need to go to the pier, I think, next, right? Yeah, let's go. Alright, so we're just going to set up the 2 quests for downtown the next episode, right? So not the library one, Jesus, what's the name of the place? The theater. There you go. Wrong location here. And the other one is the actual library one. So both are there, so we can just knock these 2 off. That Kindred for Hire quest line from Clan Quest that we're going to do with the Malkavian eventually, was actually, it would be better if it was in this playthrough than that one, for sure. It would be perfect for a guy with obfuscation. But yeah, actually. Okay, alright. And all of that I talked to you guys about today is one supplement. Just one. Imagine how many more stories I have to tell about that type of stuff. So as I said, if it is useless, I know. That's how it goes. Okay. Oh yeah, the platform, right? I don't remember that that's the actual Dane, if it is the oil platform. But in Prelude, right, we start the first quest in the platform. So I think that should be the Dane, and that is the platform. Probably the same model. This is stick figure, basically. Oh, wait. The armor. Alright, let me kite this guy around here a little bit. Potence. Now I'm ready. I have some points here. I should be using this point to raise the potence before this fight here, but hey. Alright, the Cenobite fella here can really work. So I think we are already set up here. No. We need to do the extra step on the place where the madam there would do the readings. Forget her name. But yeah, the lady that was on the beach. Psychic, Madame Leota. This is the lady. All right. Psychic, just. I'm telling you, like being like they call what I am nowadays skeptic, so they put me in that box. Like, but being like an atheist and like not believing in anything, really, makes you like laugh all day long about basically everything. Like I told you guys that my brother is gonna go to South Korea, right? I'm going to stay there for a while. So my mother was trying to think of any excuse possible to make him not do the travel, you know. So she follows a bunch of random people. My mother's like 63 years old at this point. So she follows those like conspiracy theorists in Instagram that she thinks that they are actually like journalists, but just people saying random shit, you know. And every day there's a few of them that are like, oh, like the great something is coming, and like I'm calling you the great something because they all use different like keywords, but you know what I mean. So like a new disease is coming, They lied about the asteroid. It's going to fall next year. So there's one guy that she follows that is always talking about how there's going to be like a gigantic power outage in the world because of like solar flares, which is an actual like possibility in the real world. But the guy is talking that it's going to happen this year. This is bullshit. I mean, it's possible, but the guy's not a scientist, you know, just a guy talking shit. If you predict something stupid for long enough, it will happen, you know. So yeah, she follows this guy, and the guy is always talking about some sort of like big, like worldwide power outage, which would be like basically the end of the human race as we know it. But the guy never says like where it will happen, when it will start, and so on. Just say it's going to happen, just like Nostradamus, you know. Just like, oh, there will be a plague centuries from now that will do this. Oh, he was right. No, he just said something that is obviously going to happen eventually. You know what I mean? If I say, eventually an asteroid is going to fall, and everybody's like, oh my god, he's the next Nostradamus. No, he's just talking. You know, this is obvious that eventually, mathematically speaking, is going to happen. Like a new ice age is coming. Yeah, dude, just wait around for a few thousand years and it will happen. You know what I mean? It is a cyclic process. So that's what I'm getting at here. So yeah, she believes that this guy every time. And then there was that outage in this, like last week in Portugal and Spain. I don't know if you guys saw that. Like Portugal was without power for a while, Spain too. So they had to like divert flights and use like emergency power supplies and all that stuff. And then she was like, see? And then my brother came by yesterday for lunch. And she was like, see, I told you that there was going to be the power outage, like cancel the trip and so on. And obviously, that's bullshit, you know what I mean? Just something that ended up happening there. Because if you don't know a whole lot about like science and like space and stuff, it's not your jam. I'm going to explain like really quickly. If a solar flare, like super powerful one, well, I guess you guys would pronounce like solar flare, right? If a super powerful one solar flare happened, or if like one of those ejecta from the sun came and passed through our atmosphere in terms of like magnetic and like radioactive forces and stuff. I'm not talking about like a literal piece of the sun, but like a magnetic storm or something like that. That would essentially throw us back to the Stone Age, basically, because it would essentially destroy our like power lines throughout the world, probably most of it, if not all of it. And I'm talking about every source of power. I'm not talking about just like the power lines, but like batteries, everything. We would be back to the Middle Ages, basically, or even before that. And that would basically destroy all the satellites, so no internet too, because the satellites wouldn't be able to stay in orbit without any source of like power, you know what I mean? So that would be like a catastrophe that could happen like in any second. You don't need an asteroid for the world to end. You just need an extremely powerful solar flare, or like a sunstorm or something like that, you know what I mean? Which is something that has happened like a couple of centuries ago, if I'm not mistaken. But back then we didn't have the power line, so but it affected like telegraphs and things like that. So that is an actual danger. That is the biggest danger that we face every day in the modern world, is like a gigantic solar flare. It's not even like a tsunami or like an asteroid or nuclear power. Maybe a war could be higher on the list, but everybody knows that if they start a war, a worldwide war, no one would survive. So you would have to be like completely suicidal. Like you would want to like be the one like wanting to really destroy humanity, you know what I mean? Alright, so wait. So library and oh, did I get the things? Yes, finally. I always forget to get those. So let me just position my character in the theater first. Let's see. I need a map. Oh, this is the traveling one. I need an actual map now. One day I'll memorize where everything is. Could be here. That could not be too. So you're here. Okay. I need a theater. So I need to keep going the way I'm going, then turn 1, 2 lefts. Okay. Let's see if my navigation skills here have improved. Probably not. Alright, let's see, come on. I never memorized the letters either, like, oh, entrance B, entrance C, entrance D, whatever. just wing it. I need more space in my brain for random stupid stuff that no one cares about, you know what I mean? Alright guys, so that's it. So I apologize for the randomness of the talk there, but yeah, the Warrens episode is always the one that has the least like content, really, unless you love the Warrens. So by that logic, so you're okay regardless. But yeah, so we'll talk about more random stuff in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.